For decades, cryptids were brushed off as myths, but what if they were real all along? Human-faced sheep, terrifying Mothman, and creatures you've never seen before. This video reveals some of the strangest cryptids caught on camera across the US. Watch closely because some myths are not just stories anymore.
I'm loading up wood and I look up and this is what I see. Why does it look like a goddamn Yeti?
A nature explorer was hiking in DeSoto National Forest in Mississippi when he filmed something terrifying. He saw a creature with long black hair and the lower body of a horse. Beside it stood a normal horse, and the creature held a spear in its hand, as if it were the horse's master and was trying to control it. The man had only heard stories about half-human, half-horse creatures before, but after this encounter, he became convinced that such beings exist in reality. Sasquatch sighting.
Whoa.
On August 28, 2025, a man was driving through the Pine Barrens in New Jersey, USA, when he spotted something off in the bushes. He heard branches cracking, so he slowed his car, rolled down the window, and turned on his camera. Through the trees, he saw a massive, dark, furred creature walking upright like a human. Afraid of the sight, he quickly sped away from the area, with a chilling thought in his mind. He had just seen a real Sasquatch. Mermaids. A couple was visiting Big Sur in California, USA, when they spotted two strange beings lying below the cliff on the beach. The creatures had dark bodies that ended in fish-like tails, and they used two human-like hands to move. What made them even stranger were their heads, which looked almost human. As waves washed over them, a group of dogs gathered around, and the creatures slipped back into the sea and never appeared again. The couple became convinced they had seen real mermaids. But what do you think? Wechuge encounter. 2 years ago, a man set up a tree camp in Rocky Mountain National Park, USA, to stay safe from wild animals. One day, a horrifying cryptid appeared beneath his tree. It had ripped skin, antlers on its head, and no flesh on its face, just a bony skull. Crawling on the ground using its hands, it growled and suddenly rushed up the tree toward him. The recording cut off at that moment, and the man was never seen again. Later, authorities found his camera at the same spot and recovered the footage. After reviewing the video, they identified the creature as a Wechuge, a cryptid known for abducting humans. Behemoth cryptid. A woman living in Driggs, Idaho, USA, often heard strange screams coming from the woods near her house. One day, she took her camera and went to see if she could record something. What she saw made her stop cold. At first, it looked like a dark tree in the distance, but when she went closer, she realized it was a 15-foot-tall creature with a sharp beak, black fur, and long claws. It stood still, then suddenly rushed toward her. The video cut off, she went missing from that day, and later, only her camera was found. Loch Ness Monster.
Coming right at us. Zoom in.
A group of university friends went to the Scottish Highlands, Scotland, to spend some time together. While boating in the middle of a lake, they noticed ripples on the water's surface, as if something huge was moving underneath. Then a dark back rose out of the water, and moments later, a long neck with a snake-like head appeared. It stayed visible for only a short time before sinking again. They screamed in fear. When they asked the locals about it, they were told it was the Loch Ness Monster. Peculiar sea lions. A group of tourists was visiting the Na Pali coast in Hawaii, USA, when 5 unnatural beings crawled out of the sea onto the beach. The tourists stood on a cliff above and began recording in shock. The creatures had bluish skin and long, fish-like bodies with tails and a ridge running down their backs. What made them even stranger were their faces, which looked like lions, and their human-like arms that they used to crawl on the sand. When the clips were shared online, many viewers brushed them off as a hoax. Big-horned cryptid.
Estoy grabando porque si no, no me creen. La leyenda de este bosque.
Two friends were searching for a place to set up their camp in Pisgah National Forest, North Carolina, USA, when they spotted a bizarre creature. From a distance, it looked like a bighorn sheep, but when they zoomed in with their camera, they could not believe that it had 5 legs and a human-like face with similar eyes, a nose, lips, and even a beard. When it realized it was being filmed, it stared directly at them, then ran into the woods, leaving them unsure if it was safe to camp there. Mysterious lion. A man was hiking on San Juan Mountain in Colorado, USA, when he saw a creature so terrifying that he could not continue his hike. It looked like a lion, but not like any normal one. At the end of its tail was a curved stinger like that of a scorpion's, and on its back were large bat-like wings. Holding his breath to avoid being noticed, he recorded the creature and rushed down the mountain. What do you think this creature could be?
Yeah, keep it steady.
It's looking right ahead.
Glimpse of an alien. A man was exploring Hocking Hills State Park in Ohio, USA, when he caught something bone-chilling on his camera. A slender creature appeared out of the dense forest and began observing the area. It had a grayish body with unusually long arms and legs and a hairless, almond-shaped head. As he watched this sighting, he became sure that it was an alien trying to camouflage itself as the trees so it could watch over humans. Centaur.
Oh my god.
A man was hiking in the Ozark Mountains in Arkansas, USA, when his jaw dropped at something moving below a cliff. He turned on his camera and zoomed in, realizing it had the lower body of a black horse that was walking confidently as if it owned the area. The strange part was its upper body, which looked human with long, dark hair. He had heard stories about centaurs, so he was sure he'd captured a mythical creature and quickly left, wondering what other beings might be hiding in the forest.
My eyes. This is real.
Dogman. A farmer was grazing his sheep in the fields of Astoria, Oregon, USA, when he saw something strange. From a distance, it looked like a huge human. But when he took out his camera and zoomed in, he was stunned. It was a mysterious creature with a tail and a body covered in brown fur, walking upright on 2 legs. He had heard stories about a mythical dogman, so he believed that's what he had just seen. Griffin encounter. A local man had heard rumors about a legendary creature living in a cave on Mount Shasta, California, USA. So one day, he decided to investigate. As he approached the cave, he suddenly heard heavy footsteps coming from inside. He quickly hid behind a boulder, but kept his camera recording. A huge creature emerged, with the body of a lion, large wings on its back, sharp claws instead of feet, and an eagle-like beak. It let out a terrifying sound, a mix of a lion's roar and an eagle's cry. The man was convinced he had just seen a real griffin from Legends and rushed back, avoiding any trouble. Kitsune sighting. A man was camping alone in the taiga forest in the USA, and one night he heard a strange sound. As he searched the area with his flashlight, his blood ran cold. In the beam of light, he saw a creature from stories. It looked like a fox with a pointy snout and a body covered in white fur, but its glowing eyes and 6 tails made it terrifying. He suddenly remembered his grandfather's story about the Kitsune, a fox spirit that grows a new tail every 100 years, and realized he was seeing it for real. River monster.
There's something moving out there.
A group of tourists was boating on the River Spey in Scotland, UK, filming the beautiful scenery, when one of them noticed something strange in the water. At first, only a tail was visible above the surface. Then, suddenly, a long, terrifying head rose from the water, looking like a monster, before disappearing back into the depths. The tourists were shocked and frightened by the sight, but the boatman calmly said it was a river monster, believed to protect the water from evil spirits and polluters. Bigfoot. On December 30, 2017, a group of lumberjacks was working in the Black Hills Forest in South Dakota, USA. One of them was casually filming them when they suddenly heard loud footsteps coming toward them. When he panned the camera, they saw a massive figure covered in red fur and moving upright. It rushed toward them, as if warning them not to cut the trees, then disappeared back into the forest. The short clip convinced many viewers that they had captured a real Bigfoot. Black feathered creature.
I can't believe what I'm seeing right now.
A woman was driving to her farmhouse in Lander, Wyoming, USA, to spend her summer vacation. As she followed a road surrounded by thick forest, she froze to see a giant creature standing beside the road. Its black feathers were whipping in the strong wind, and its skull-like head made it look even more terrifying. Frightened, she drove past quickly. Later, when she asked the locals, they claimed it was just a model placed there for tourists. Coop Cryptid. A man installed a CCTV camera in his hen coop to find out why his hens were going missing every day. When he reviewed the footage, he was shocked. An unknown creature with a rat-like face, a long tail, and a slim body jumped over the wooden fence and hopped onto the ground. One of the hens flapped its wings, knocking the creature down, and it struggled to stand. The man quickly stopped the recording, caught the creature, and handed it over to the authorities. Forest Cryptid. A wildlife photographer was wandering through Acadia National Park in Maine, USA, taking nature photos when he stumbled upon something disturbing. A creature was holding a small pig, as if it were about to devour it. The creature was old, with torn clothes, and stood upright, with similar arms and legs. Its face was the scariest part, with a sharp beak and sunken eyes. When it noticed the camera, it let out chilling screams, and tiny humans with spears and bows gathered around it, as if it were their master. Fearing for his life, he ran to safety and still doesn't know what he saw. Kappa. A man went to Devil's River in Texas, USA, to fish when he suddenly froze. Right in front of him, something unusual came out from the dry grass, rose on two legs, and walked into the river. Its body was dark olive with a hard, turtle-like shell on its back. Its head was flat with a beak instead of a mouth. The man kept recording as the creature calmly floated in the water, then disappeared into the depths. Later, he researched it and was shocked to find it resembled a Kappa, a Japanese water creature, leaving him puzzled. Chilling screams. Back in 2019, a man and his brother went into Harbison State Forest in South Carolina, USA, to search for their missing dog. After going deeper into the forest and searching for 2 hours, they were stunned by a chilling scream echoing ahead, as if some unknown danger was lurking there. They stopped and kept recording the terrifying sounds. Convinced that a strange creature had taken their dog, they decided to turn back and ran for their lives. Jormungandr. A woman was visiting Cannon Beach in Oregon, USA. She was busy filming the large sea waves when something unexpected appeared on the water's surface. A long, black shape, like a giant serpent, seemed to float in the water, as if warning people to stay away because the sea belonged to it. When the clip was shared online, many viewers started calling it Jormungandr, a mythical sea serpent, while others dismissed it as a hoax. Goblin. A man living in Eureka, Nevada, USA, was tired of his livestock going missing. One night, he camouflaged himself on the rooftop and waited for whatever was causing his loss. After a while, something strange came out of the cornfield, grabbed one of his hens, and ran back into the field. It had pointy ears, black hair, and a long nose, and it moved like a human, but it was too small to be one. When he asked his grandfather, he called it a goblin. Later, they searched the field but found nothing. Satyr. On the 8th of March, 2021, a man was hiking on the Pacific Crest Trail in the USA when he noticed something odd. Far ahead stood a tall, slim creature shaped like a human, but its head was what truly shocked him. It was long, like an ibex, with antlers rising from the top. Because it was so far away, the video he recorded was a bit blurry, and its movements looked as if it was guarding something. Curious, he sent the clip to a cryptozoologist friend, who claimed it was a satyr. Creepy crawler. You might have seen many creepy creatures, but this one stands out. This video, shared by foreign tourists in Tulsa, Oklahoma, USA, showed an unusual creature crawling out of a manhole, giving onlookers nightmares. It was long and thick, with thousands of tiny legs on both sides that helped it move across the ground. Its head was odd, with black eyes, and its body was covered in strange patterns, making it look even scarier. Authorities took the creature to a secret facility to test its DNA to discover what species it was. Pan sighting. On May 27, 2024, a hunter set up a trail camera in Coconino National Forest, Arizona, to track the movement of wild animals. But instead of animals, the camera recorded something terrifying. A tall, humanoid creature appeared from nowhere, with long, pointy ears, black lips, and long, messy hair. Its glowing orange eyes, curved horns, and long hands with sharp nails made it even more frightening. It moved toward the camera and opened its mouth wide, letting out a chilling roar. After watching the footage, he became convinced it was Pan, the Greek god of the forest. Bizarre bulls. A man was hiking in the Adirondack Mountains in New York, USA, to complete a bet with his friends when he filmed something strange. In the valley below, two animal-like figures were having a duel in a riverbed. When he zoomed in, he was shocked because they had human-like hands and were standing upright on two legs like humans, but their bodies were covered in thick black fur with heads like bulls. Confused, he shared the footage with his friends, who said they might be something sinister disguised as bulls. Midnight horror. One Sunday, a man living in Polebridge, Montana, was checking his CCTV footage after hearing his dogs barking the previous night. What he saw left him stunned. A mysterious creature with thin, long legs and a bony body walked toward his dogs. Its glowing eyes and calf-like face made it even stranger, and the way it growled sounded unnatural. The dogs were scared, but the creature looked weak and starved, so it quickly ran away, leaving the man wondering what he had seen. Screaming beast. This creature was captured by authorities in Kisatchie National Forest, Louisiana, USA, and taken to a secret facility where it was kept in a room with a glass view. It was dark in color, with a strong, lion-like body and a mane around its neck, but its horrible screams made it even more terrifying. It seemed aggressive and did not let anyone come close, as if it wanted to escape. Authorities still have no clear answer about what it is, but they are testing its DNA to know which species it belongs to. Street horror. This CCTV footage was uploaded online 6 years ago and quickly went viral. It shows an ordinary street at night. After a while, a man appears on the pavement, limping as if something terrifying is chasing him. Moments later, a bizarre shape was seen on camera, moving on all fours with a long tail behind it. Viewers were shocked because they had never seen anything like it before and could not identify it. Even now, experts are struggling to figure out what this creature could be. Appalachian cryptid. A man living in Damascus, Virginia, went hiking in the Appalachian Mountains to prove a local myth wrong. But what he saw that day changed his mind. Below a cliff, several horses were roaming near the entrance of a cave, while some people were working. Among them was a horse that was half human and half horse. From the waist up, it looked like a human, but from the waist down, it had the body of a horse. It helped the others carry a long wooden log. Shocked, the man realized the locals had been right about the Centaur. Mysterious cat. This video was shared by a man living in Crescent City, California, USA, and it quickly went viral because of a bizarre-looking creature. It had a slim body and a curved tail that looked like a dog's, but its long neck, head, and face were like a cat's. At first, it seemed to be just a strange pet cat, but viewers were confused because they had never seen a cat shaped like this before. Some people suggested that the video was created using artificial intelligence. Mutated bat. This video was shared by a secret source just a week ago from a secret laboratory in Nevada, USA, and it left viewers shocked because the creature in the clip did not look like any normal human or animal. It had a bat-like appearance, but its body was much larger than that of any normal bat. It hopped on human-like legs, flew around the cage room, and let out strange, angry sounds as if it wanted to escape. The source later claimed it was the result of a human bat mutation that was now getting out of control. Forest anomaly. A family was exploring the Cohutta Wilderness in Cisco, Georgia, USA, when they noticed a dark figure standing motionless in the bushes. It was dark in color with a pale face, and its body was covered in thick black fur. When they started recording, it let out a creepy sound. Terrified, they didn't dare go any closer and quickly changed direction, thinking it might be the rake, a mythical being. Monstrous fish. One sunny day, a man was taking a morning walk on Clearwater Beach in Florida, USA, when he stumbled upon something shocking. Lying on the sand was the carcass of a large fish with big eyes, a wide open mouth, and long fangs exposed, giving it a monstrous look. The man was scared because he had never seen a fish like this before. When he shared the clip on Instagram, one of the viewers commented that it might be a model placed there for tourist attraction. Mothman. A farmer was driving his tractor to harvest his field in Talkeetna, Alaska, USA, when a nightmarish creature blocked his path. It stood bent forward, its sharp claws exposed and its round red eyes staring at him, giving him nightmares later. Its body was covered in black hair, and large wings were attached to its back. Keeping a safe distance, he filmed the creature until it suddenly flew up and disappeared into the sky. He posted the clip on TikTok, where many viewers claimed it was the Mothman, a creature said to appear before the apocalypse. Forest guardian. A hunter got separated from his group and followed a lesser-known trail in the Mogollon Rim Forest in Arizona, USA. Suddenly, he heard creaking sounds in the woods and started recording immediately. What appeared was beyond anything he had ever imagined. From behind the trees, a huge creature stepped out, with antlers and grass on its head, a weathered face, and black eyes. It looked like a living tree. It peeked at him, then returned to its place, as if warning him not to disturb the wildlife. Cryptid encounter. On the 18th of February, 2016, a mysterious creature was seen by two friends in Nome, Alaska, USA, while they were out for an evening walk. Its body was covered in brown fur, and it had a bear-like face with a black snout. They tried to chase the creature, but it suddenly bolted toward one of them. The video cuts off abruptly, leaving everyone wondering what the creature was and what happened next. Mysterious bird. Just a couple of months ago, bystanders gathered around a bizarre figure captured by the police in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, USA. Its body was like a large bird, covered in black feathers with sharp, curved claws. But above the neck, it was almost human, with a face, eyes, and ears like ours, except for a long beak instead of a nose. People whispered that it might be a witch, trapped halfway between human and bird. Dark figure. While camping in the Tonto Basin in Arizona, a man was gathering tinder to cook his food when he saw a dark figure near the river. At first, it stood motionless, like a statue. It made no sound and didn't move at all. It was pitch black, with a humanoid body and a long, hard, crocodile-like tail covered in scales. Suddenly, the creature came to life. It swung its tail across the riverbed, then bolted forward at an incredible speed. Before the man could react, it jumped into the water and vanished, leaving only ripples behind. He was a bit confused after seeing the creature and couldn't decide if he had seen a lizard man or something even more sinister. What do you think this creature was? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. Open discussion.
I'm loading up wood, and I look up, and this is what I see.
A woman was visiting Leavenworth, Washington, USA, when she caught sight of something odd standing in the bushes far away. Before it disappeared, she quickly turned on her camera and started recording. The creature had a dark body with no visible facial features, just large hands, and it stood on two legs, staring directly at her. She was terrified because she had heard about Yeti sightings in this area, so she rushed back inside her hotel.
Why does it look like a goddamn Yeti?